Whole commercial break. Biggie's fending off callers. Tell the fun sucker to shut up. Fun sucker over here, just sucking out fun from having a good time after winning the Super Bowl. The problem is, we, as a general population, have become, over the last 20 years, less judgy. You do you, whatever. I'm not that person.
Never will be?
Never will be. I can't.
You love judging.
I can't hold it in. The day after that parade, I thought about Travis Kelce. You look like a buffoon and a drunken oaf, and I'm disgusted at your behavior. But I didn't say anything. I tried to hold it in.
We had to talk about the guns.
Well, there was the guns. That's right. So I didn't say anything. I thought, well, that pales in comparison, doesn't it? But now, here we are, a week, 10 days removed, and what do I can't hold it in any longer. It's like, it escapes me. Now I can tell you what I thought.
Do you feel better letting it out?
Yeah, like a weight's been lifted, you know. I only did that because Garth Brooks embraced it, and I'm very disappointed in Garth, who is a hero of mine, an idol who I love. I love his concerts. And Garth said, did y'all see Travis at the parade? Man, wasn't that great? No.
Let's do it again.
No, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. So the message is, sing his song like a drunken buffoon in front of 1 million people and 10 million more on television, and act like, you got no sense. And what do you get? I'll invite you to the grand opening of my new club and we'll sing it together. No, sir. I didn't care for that one bit. Now others say, oh, it's great. It's wonderful. People like that belch off. I don't like that belch off. I'm not a belching person. I'm not into that. Did you hear the people cheer? Yay!
Well, I think even they were a little perplexed.
Well, I hope that is the case.
Is that something I don't watch for the show? Is that something Drew does once a week or with every guest?
No, I don't think so. No,
I don't watch it, but I think we would have heard about this.
I think we would have heard
if that was her standard thing. Yeah,
I really think this was designed just to make Kelly Rowland seem less like a diva.
Because she was, get down there with the common folks and belch and
show your fun side.
Fun side, yeah.
Like we're going to have to do with you later.
We don't know everything.
For me, I have to do something fun.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure out something later.
Something fun
we got to make him fun for the weekend.
I'm all non-fun right now. I'm no fun right now.
Like we're going to have to get you to jump like in the Savannah River or something.
We'll be in Savannah.
See, he's crazy.
He really is fun.
Yeah. I don't know a lot how these talk show works, but I think I do. I mean, it's pretty standard where you do like a pre-interview, like Kelly Rowland's people would have talked to Drew Barrymore's people, agent and producer, and saying, well, what sort of fun skills does she have? Well, she can belch on command. So can Drew.
Maybe that's it.
I mean, I don't know how that even comes up in conversation.
Or these days, has somebody put that on their social media that they used to be able to belch? And Drew Barrymore's people read about it and say, would you mind if we bring this up with her?
That's possible.
Maybe that's how it's done. In the old days, I know, like Dave Letterman and Carson, they used to do little pre-interview, like they'd know what they were going to say. Like, we're going to lead you to this story.
Well, they still do. It's the producers now do the pre-interview.
Instead of the host. Instead of the host himself, yeah. Frank is on the line to talk about this. Frank, you wanted to comment on the Kelce story. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. P1 from China Grove.
Thank you.
I actually agree with you. I'm with you 100%. As a Christian father, I don't want my 5-year-old seeing that and thinking, it's okay to go get sloshed in public and sing Garth Brooks songs.
Thank you. That's exactly what I thought. When I saw it, I was like, there's a bunch of kids there. A bunch. Why is this grown man getting so drunk he can barely stand and making a spectacle of himself and then having people cheer it? I hated it. I just thought that was an awful look and that more people should have been critical the next day. But I kept quiet about it. I didn't want to.
It is a Super Bowl party. He's not just drunkenly singing on the streets.
Thank you, Frank.
It is a celebration of the entire city.
Yes, but if you're going to be representing your team and your city, don't you have and you are in front of children who are huge fans, don't you have a responsibility to at least keep it together for the parade? I mean, you can go later privately, as they did, get together for a dinner later, and he could have done whatever he wanted. And I know they're not all role models. I mean, Charles Barkley used to say, I'm not a role model. But if I took my kids to that, who was 7, and idolized Travis Kelce and saw that behavior, I'd be very disappointed in that. I mean, that's really disappointing. And it was a total public spectacle. He knew he was going to be up there in public. Can't you keep it together for 3 or 4 hours? Then you can do whatever you want. He's in Australia now. He can do whatever he wants.
I think he would probably say, I was expected to do that.
I don't think anyone expected him to get drunk. I think they expected him to sing, which he could have done stone cold sober. He's done that many times on the field.
Yeah, he does say he did sing on the field.
I mean, he does that every game. Every time they win a big playoff game, he sings, you got to fight for your right to party, which I have no problem with. That I don't love the Chiefs, but I feel like he could have looked a lot better in that situation. And I'm just critical of that. What most people go, come on, give him a break. It's for fun. I don't think that sets a good example for anybody, especially all the kids that were there watching that.
I hear the kid argument. I think kids are way more resilient, and I think that's just it's a shield for something you don't like.
Well, I don't like it. I mean, if anybody does that in public, it was done on a Friday night, you probably get arrested for drunken disorderly in public, and he knows he's going to be in public. And I don't know, kids may be resilient, but 7-year-olds, it's like, I'm sure 7-year-olds are like, why is he acting that way? He looks horrible. It's a terrible, terrible look. But I didn't say anything about it. I was willing to let it go until
Garth shot his mouth off. And I don't like that. How can you support something like that and say, oh, he just got incredibly drunk in this setting, and so instead of me either not saying anything or being critical, I'm embracing it and bringing him here to sing the song "Friends in Low Places" with me. I think that sends a bad message. But I'm old, stuck in the mud. Yes.
I'm old.
Priggish.
I'm old Priggish. That's right. I'm old Priggish. That's what they call me, the old prig. And here, these are just the thoughts that I have. And I didn't say anything day after because there were bigger fish to fry the day after that parade. But now here we are, and I'm like, okay, all right, this is, and now Garth's given the opening. You know what? I don't like it. I don't care for that kind of behavior. Eric is talking about Travis Kelce as well and his behavior at the Kansas City parade. Go ahead, Eric.
Hey, Aaron, AARON. Anyways, either which way.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I thought Travis Kelce has had a heck of a year. I mean, he's Mr. Pfizer. He's dating Taylor Swift. I think a little bit of that got to his head. I don't like the way you ran into Andy Reid during the Super Bowl. I thought that was disrespectful. Andy Reid's an old man, kind of, sort of. No offense, Chris Demm, but...
Well, yeah. If Travis Kelce had not bumped into me, I'd be in the hospital.
I was surprised that Andy Reid kept his balance there. He could have been knocked out. A lot of people criticized him for that. I gave him a pass on that because I thought it's the heat of the moment. It's the Super Bowl. He's trying, he's emotional and whatever. And he apologized later. They seemed all good about it. Did you see the NFL blocked? They have him mic'd up so you could hear what he was saying. And
Kelce was mic'd up all game.
And the Chiefs have said they're not letting out what he said to Andy Reid. I mean, I'm sure we know what he said. It was like, put me in the effing game. I could have blocked that play. They fumbled on that play, and he was not on the field. Charles, you're talking about this Travis Kelce drunken behavior at the Chiefs Super Bowl parade. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, guys. P1 Charles from Pennsylvania here. And, I agree. I'm not sure I condone somebody getting, out of control, drunk like that and singing a song and, like you said, kind of acting like, foolish. But my question is, the way that it's presented now, these celebrations, like all the championship games, baseball, the NFL, you go into the locker rooms afterward and they're, completely stocked full of champagne, beer. Everybody's spraying it all over each other. It's such a big part of the celebration. So, I guess one side of the argument is, right, you can judge this guy for doing it, but it's such a big part of the culture now and the celebration in general. And is it really fair to say, like, hey, man, don't do that, but, yeah, it's okay to, drink a ton of Budweiser and spray yourself with champagne and get beer bongs out in the locker room afterwards. And
it is part of the culture for sure.
Yeah. And it goes way back.
I have never seen anyone that drunk that was on a team, either after a game or on the stage. Now, they may have been, but I've never seen it.
I also think it's how singing the song and such, because, I'm sure Mahomes spoke. He was drunk too, apparently. So I think it's his over-the-topness of it.
But literally, his teammates had to come around him so he didn't fall. Now, I didn't see that video of Mahomes. I've never seen that video of anybody. I saw Tom Brady, when he won it with the Buccaneers, throw the Lombardi trophy. But he was drinking. There's no doubt about it. But I don't think he was in danger of passing out. It looked to me like Travis Kelce was ready to pass out and black out. And I know the spraying of the champagne has been around for 100 years, but I used to see them spray the champagne, not drink 3 bottles of champagne. Then they may chug a little.
Always beers in the locker room. Always.
I've never seen anyone on camera that drunk who's won a championship. I don't know if y'all have, but I have not. I mean, he was beyond blitzed. And that's why I say, you got to keep your head about you a little bit. Jeff from Virginia, you wanted to comment on Travis Kelce and Garth Brooks. Go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of agree. And good morning, guys.
Morning.
I pretty well agree that, he may have went overhead, and out of hand, especially in the public eyes. But you've got to look at it, too, that in Garth Brooks' face, too, that his concerts, there has been numerous ladies and guys drunk at his concerts that probably have been carried out at times. So it's hard to throw stones in a glass house.
For Garth Brooks?
Yes.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't have to come out and endorse it. I'm sure at the concert, he doesn't see people being led out or carried out. And
so wait, before you throw her out, bring her up here.
I mean, he's not.
We're going to sing low places.
We're not celebrating that. I mean, there's no question people get drunk at concerts, but we don't generally. They don't celebrate that, and I didn't like the fact that Garth Brooks celebrated it. But what am I? Prig. I see it, and I try to be no prig. I try to go. I told my wife.
You fought it.
Yeah, you've tried for years. Just embrace it.
I tell it to my wife because she listens, and she'll go, all right, that's right. And I'll say, and sometimes she joins in with me. She doesn't like this kind of thing either. So we at home be like, you believe this? Look at this guy. And I get it out there. But today, when Garth said it, it just triggered me. I said, okay, that's it. I'm going to have to make a comment on Travis Kelce. I'm going to have to go priggish on him.
The prig's been trigged.
That's all right. That's a prigger trigger. We got a prig trig in here today. That's all there is to it. And I know I'm probably in the minority, but that's the way I feel about that.